I'll ask them. మరి చేస్తారు
Om Shri Sai Ram. On behalf of all assembled here, I offer my most loving and prayerful pranams at Bhagwan's divine lotus feet. Sai Ram and a very good evening to all present here. Welcome to this sacred offering, Seva Vandanam, a humble tribute to all the noble hands and loving hearts who serve in Bhagwan's healthcare mission with silent dedication and unconditional love. To begin this evening's program, let us invoke Bhagwan's divine presence with the sonorous chants of Vedas.
Bro, cameraman bro.
Tyage Neke Amritatva Manashu. With sacrifice alone, one attains immortality. This timeless Vedic injunction beautifully captures the spirit of today's occasion, for it is in selfless sacrifice, in seva performed without expectation, that we glimpse the spark of the divine. To formally commence this sacred ceremony, I request the dignitaries to come forward for Jyoti Prajwalana, the ceremonial lamp lighting, and to grace the dais. I request our director, Dr. D.C. Sundaresh, to kindly escort our esteemed chief guest, Sri R.J. Rathnakar Garu, Managing Trustee, Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, Sri Ramesh Kumar, former Speaker of the Karnataka Assembly, Sri Nagesh Yidhakappa, Member Executive Committee, Sri Sathya Sai Local Council, and Trustee, Sri Sathya Sai of Karnataka, Sri Padmanabh Bhai, State President, Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, Karnataka North. So request the dignitaries to grace the dais. With love and gratitude at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, we gather this evening for a very special celebration, Seva Vandanam, a tribute to the silent savers, the heartbeat of Sri Sathya Sai healthcare mission. For while volunteers are the heartbeat of Sai's mission, Sai is in turn the heartbeat of every volunteer. This program is part of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Whitefield, which completes 25 years of glorious service on 19th January 2026. 25 years of healing with compassion, 25 years of selfless service, and 25 years of lives transformed by Bhagwan's boundless grace. This evening is not just an event, it's an offering of gratitude, a celebration of love in action, of hands that serve, and of the sacred spirit of Nishkama Karma that sustains this temple of healing. Today, we have over 650 volunteers physically present here and many more joining us virtually from India and overseas. It is deeply touching that several volunteers mentioned that though they are not able to be physically present here in person, just receiving the invite from Bhagwan felt like a blessing in itself. Such is the devotion, such is the love, such is the spirit of Seva that we honor tonight. To welcome the gathering and to set the tone for this blessed evening, it is my privilege to invite Dr. Sundaresh, Director, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Whitefield, to deliver the introductory address. Dr. Sundaresh.
Om Shri Sai. Offering humble pronounce the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Baba. Honorable Sri Managing Trustee Sri Rathnakar ji, Lakapa ji, Vasuki, and all the esteemed guests who are here, invitees, and our chief guests who are many in number, the Sevadar and other volunteers who have served this business for many years and have made an indelible mark in the history of these institutions. It's my pleasure to stand before you today to welcome all of you. It's a historic day today, being the Silver Jubilee year of the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, which we celebrate on the 19th of January at Trustee. And during this year, it was decided that we should have a few programs to mark this event of 25 years of very meaningful existence of serving the public. And therefore, this Seva Vandanam program was organized. These 25 years of healthcare delivery is a value-driven healthcare, which by seeing divinity in every patient and also powered by compassion more than by technology. The purpose of this is, of course, to recognize and honor all those who have contributed from day one of this institution. We have tried to reach out to as many people as is possible. And I'm very happy to note that we have a large gathering today who have graced this occasion and made this event a success. I thank every volunteer who has been here, who has served across decades, and also celebrate the spirit of selfless sacrifice that they have made. And we rededicate ourselves to the glory of this institution by continuing to serve. I'm sure a lot of people have traveled long distances and undergone a lot of hardships to reach here. And I'm grateful to each one of you who have done so. And it's also a time to express gratitude to all the service that you have done here in various capacities. Be it the Seva who have done human service by way of doing all types of jobs within the hospital, by moving patients, serving the patients with food, helping in the kitchen, helping in mopping the floors and things like that. And also those doctors and others who have volunteered to see that this mission is a big success. The goal of this hospital was, in addition to serving the poor patients with delivering good, high quality healthcare, also to facilitate people from serving in these institutions for their own self-emancipation. And Bhagavan has mentioned this on more than one occasion to say that these people have done a lot of sadhana in the past to be here, to be able to serve in Swami's hospital. So therefore, this sadhana of each one of you is acknowledged here, I'm sure, not by us, but by Bhagavan himself. And this is not a small task, considering the consistency with which this has happened. I'm grateful to each one of you for that. And it's not out of place to say that the heart of this service in this hospital is the volunteer force that goes to help us render quality care. I think the volunteers who are here deserve a big ovation for that. We've had many visiting doctors, both from within India and from abroad, who have consistently come, sacrificing their own time and money, and with this spirit of sacrifice to help the patients that are coming here to seek care. In addition to doctors, nurses, and sevadars who have been helping us, over the last few years or many years, we've had a lot of non-government organizations and corporate industries around us here who have been coming to do service on a weekly basis or a monthly basis in a very large scale. My gratitude to each one of them. Special mention needs to be made for the Sevadar here. On a consistent basis, we've had 70 plus or minus male Sevadar and 50 plus or minus lady Sevadar who have been coming from the various districts of Karnataka to be a part of our service activity here. I think we need to give them a big hand. They are part of the service. I don't think it has been documented that more than 200 visiting doctors are there in this institution. from various parts of the country and abroad. And there are 40,000 blood donors who have been registered with us. And a special mention also needs to be mentioned to the volunteers of the help desk team who have successfully managed our appointment system for patients, thereby reducing the amount of discomfort and travel time and expenditure to patients by avoiding unnecessary visits to the hospital. The culture of Seva is what inspires each one of us here, and that, of course, has been inspired to us by Bhagavan himself. The fact of the saying that Bhagavan has kept repeating himself many times, love all, serve all, I think it's taken very lightly by at some time. But here we are in a situation where nobody has taken it lightly, and they have come to serve and love all in a very effective manner. This uniqueness of volunteerism in these institutions is uncomparable. There are volunteers who work in many other institutions where there is always a expectation of some kind or other. But here is a group of people who have volunteered with no expectation of any kind, with the sheer attitude of serving the needy and helping the institution in providing that kind of service. The vision of the trustees and the management overall has been very proactive in promoting this thought, and I'm grateful to all the people in the trust for having recognized this service and encouraging us to go in this direction. I think it's not inappropriate to mention again that the volunteers who have come here have served with so much humility that no task is small or big. Whoever they are have come and done whatever has been assigned to them in the spirit of service. I remember my predecessor, Dr. Swarna Bharadwaj, who was first recognized here as a Seva rather than as a doctor. And then she went on to become the medical superintendent at Puttaparthi, and then she was the director here after 2015. So that is the quality of service that these volunteers have delivered here in the interest of patient care. And that being the common goal, it's a phenomenal effort by hundreds of people from various parts of the country and the world. Going forward, I think over the next 25 years or even more, because Bhagavan has willed that these institutions will be there for eternity. Our effort to continue to encourage and promote this thought in the newer generation of people will produce more results in their own interest and in the interest of Seva in this hospital. So I offer my sincere gratitude once more from the bottom of my heart and from all the members of my staff here at this hospital. And I welcome you all to this program of Seva Vandanam. Jai Sai.
Thank you, sir, for beautifully capturing the breadth of the volunteering initiatives over the years and sharing your vision to further enrich and expand the volunteer ecosystem in the times to come. Bhagwan founded the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations to give every individual an opportunity to engage in Seva, not merely as service to society, but as a path to one's own spiritual uplift. To guide this sacred mission, he chose noble and able instruments. We are blessed to have one such chosen instrument, a veteran of the Sai organization, who served both as the youngest and the longest serving state president of Karnataka, Shri Nagesh Thakappa. Such was Bhagwan's trust in him that when this hospital was inaugurated, Swami personally entrusted the entire responsibility of organizing Sevadal support to the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations Karnataka under his leadership. Shri Thakappa currently serves as a member of the executive committee of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council and a trustee of Sri Sathya Sai Trust Karnataka. It is my honor to invite Shri Nagesh Thakappa to deliver the keynote address. Shri Nagesh.
Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble and reverential pronouns at the divine lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagwan. I cannot imagine without Bhagwan what would have happened to all of us. The very fact that we are under his divine umbrella is a good fortune we earned over the last several births. It is only a fortnight back that we were in Prashanti Nilayam, and we are not yet come out of that beautiful dream that we really enjoyed in being part of the centenary celebrations of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. On behalf of all those who present here, I want to congratulate Brother Rathnakar ji for the able leadership, along with all the trustees of the Sathya Sai Central Trust. It was a wonderful program, and our hearts are filled with joy. We are not yet still come out of that beautiful feeling. I also want to thank thousands, more than 10,000 Sevadals from all over India who worked as one family, shoulder to shoulder in the entire program. When Dr. Sundaresh mentioned to me about this program, I felt very happy. Because Swami many times mentioned that we have to recognize the silent services rendered by so many people in the life of an institution. I was uniquely blessed and really fortunate. In his infinite compassion and grace, Swami permitted me to see from close quarters the great sacrifice that number of doctors, technicians, administrators, and above all our Sevadal brothers and sisters from entire Karnataka state who have selflessly, tirelessly worked day and night in this institution. I want to thank Dr. Sundaresh and all the staff members of the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences for this wonderful opportunity. It is really said that it is a merit earned over last several births that we are under the divine umbrella of Bhagwan Baba. Swami always used to say one thing: I give you what you want so that you really want what I have really come to give you. We always enjoyed whatever Swami gave us. Swami helped us in various ways, different people in different forms, different ways. He helped us. But what is it that he really came to give us is some introspection that all of us should do it at all the times. Swami many times mentioned in my personal life as well as in a summer course which I attended, that to realize your inherent divinity, which is the goal of human life, you have to have the spiritual sadhana. And the simplest form of spiritual sadhana any avatar has given to us at any time is to work in the Sathya Sai Seva organizations, in all the three wings of the organizations. That is what Swami has been stressing. And when he asked us to take part in the organizations, he didn't ask us to do all the activities together. He always handheld us, he guided us, he supported us and showed us way how to go about it step by step. As a father and a mother would guide the child, he gave guidance to all of us. I remember way back in 60s when the organization was started and Swami asked us to do Nama Sankirtana and Bhajan. He said that I manifest myself where my glory is sung. And true to his words, everywhere across the country where bhajans were started singing, Swami showed his presence. Before I came to Swami, I saw such one incident in our small samiti in my native place, Sirsi. The chair that we had kept for Swami, the bhajan, when we started singing bhajan, there was an Omkara came. That was one of the first miracles I saw of Bhagwan. I manifest myself where my glory is found. Slowly moving on, Swami said about Bal Vikas, and then finally he said Seva. That is where now we are concentrating. Though the organization was doing a lot of medical camps and some small service activities, the first time Swami gave a big boost to the Seva activities was in 1984, when 3-year-long 60th birthday celebrations were being conducted by Sathya Sai Seva organizations across India. In 1984, when there was an All India Sevadala conference, and it was proposed to do 600 villages to be adopted and do a lot of Seva, Swami said not 600, 6,000 villages you do. And he didn't stop there. What he said was, when you reach the village, before that only you will find me installed there. And I can narrate many such instances in Karnataka, in which adopted villages, before we could reach there and do some Seva, we found Swami's presence there. So he said, I manifest myself where my work is being done, my Seva is being done. Now, all the Seva, the guidance Swami gave, finally it got extended to the ashram and other institutions of Bhagwan. I remember 1987, I just want to state a brief history how it all started. After the 1987 All India Conference in Prashanti Nilayam, the then All India President Shri G.V. Satyanarayana prayed to Swami, Swami, Sevadala, we are doing service in our samitis and elsewhere. We also want to extend these services in the ashram. And Swami, in his infinite compassion and love, granted permission. I remember as a state president, the first batch of Sevadal for the entire month in Prashanti Nilayam was about 500 people. 125 members per batch, 4 batches who had conducted the service activities in Prashanti Nilayam. And subsequently in 1991, when the super specialty hospital was constructed in Prashanti Nilayam, our Sevadala services All India roster got extended. From a meager strength of about 500 today, in a month, there will be, in every batch, there are more than 1,500 to 2,000 Sevadals, Mahilas, Gents and service, Mahilas and Gents serving in Prashanti Nilayam and other places. I remember 25 years back when this hospital was inaugurated, we had a wonderful time. Swami was here in Vrindavan, all the time spending a lot of time here. After the inauguration, Swami called me one day and said, Bangaru, this hospital, Seva, you have to manage from Karnataka. Over the years, through personal experiences, one thing I realized, whatever Swami says, accept it blindly, immediately accept it. Because on several occasions in my personal matters, when he had guided me, I used to argue with him. Tell Swami, Swami, this may not work, that may. And he would always tell me, no, just listen to me and do what I say. And subsequently, I used to realize that whatever Swami said only would happen, and it is the correct way of doing things. So when Bhagwan told me that you look after the Sevadal, work in this hospital, I knew the challenge. Because managing all alone, put up a Prashanti Nilayam was a roster in which all the states of India were participating in the Seva activities. Whereas here, the only Karnataka state had to take up the shoulder the responsibility. But once Swami says do it, means we have to blindly say yes and accept it. That is what I have learned. Now after 25 years, as I look back, I said, I realized that I was not the doer, Swami was the doer. We have to only be the working instruments. And Swami himself fixed, said, Bangaru, see, there will be a lot of requirement and there may be big figures, but you restrict the Sevadal to 100 members only. 100 members, both gents and ladies put together. Subsequently, because of the general hospital and the general canteen, now as Dr. Sundareshi mentioned, it is about 120 now. Every weekly roster we have had here earlier, even now we have a weekly roster of Sevadals coming from different parts. I still wonder, people from Belgaum, Bidar, Gulbarga, far off places, traveling long distances, without bothering about their physical inconveniences, there are family issues, all these things, they never miss. They never miss this Seva. It is as a commitment to them because they know this is the Seva sadhana Swami has given to them. I remember Dr. A.N. Safaya, who was the first director of the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences here, he told me, see, I told Swami, we are spending so much money in running of the hospital, why not spend some more amount to why we need Sevadal? Swami said it is not like that. They have prayed to me over last several births to get this Seva. So I cannot deprive them of the Seva. I have to give them the Seva. And that is the love of Swami for all of us. There were occasions when one most important thing Swami was telling us, see, Sevadals, they have come to do Seva sadhana here. You have to see that they get good food, good accommodation. You look after them well as your own children. Swami used to say that. So that is what we have always tried to do it. And we had beautiful cooperation from the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences. We had hospitals coordinators who would coordinate with the director and other staff members and used to have a weekly meeting to coordinate this work. There were two occasions when we felt that the Seva may get affected. First was after the Mahasamadhi of Swami and second was during Corona's time. But I tell you, people who have not had a single Parnamaskar of Swami, who have not had darshan of Bhagavan, who never got any interview, but their commitment to Swami and the Seva is without any parallel anywhere in this world. And I've been fortunate to have been able to see this from close quarters. That is my good fortune. I sincerely thank the director and everyone for this wonderful opportunity and this Seva for the silent Sevaks Seva Vandanam program that you have organized. And finally, I would like to say only one thing. Swami used to always tell us, you do Seva, you do this sadhana. I will see that 3 generations above you and 3 generations after you, the 7 generations, all will get sanctified. That is what Swami would always tell us. So we are very fortunate to be under divine umbrella and have got this wonderful opportunity. Week after week, we used to get worried. Our worries were really unfounded because Swami was doing it. How 100 people will come from different parts was really, we are raised to worry. But never we failed. Everybody would come and join and do Seva. I have seen people, a lot of commitment, they come in spite of their hardships, they come. So I would like to express my gratitude to all the Sevadals. Over 20 years I experienced this, who have been the pillar of strength for this organization, who have come and done Seva as part of the spiritual sadhana. I sincerely thank all of you. I sincerely thank for this opportunity and express my gratitude to Bhagavan. Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and for reminding us of Bhagavan's sacred vision for Seva. Your words shine as a guiding light for every volunteer gathered here today. We now have the privilege of hearing to our chief guest, Sri R.J. Rathnakar Garu, Managing Trustee, Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust. With reverence, I invite Sri Rathnakar sir to address the gathering.
I offer my grateful salutations in the divine lotus feet of our beloved Master Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Sevadal members, elders, doctors, all the staff of this beautiful temple of healing. Very loving Sairam to all of you. Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization has been a manifestation of Swami, manifestation of the very avatar. Last 50 to 60 years, millions have been inspired to participate in Seva, to participate in activities related to Sathya Sai organization. Through Seva, Swami has taught us that you can also spiritually progress. So just if we recollect what Swami has said at various times about Seva, in the introductory remarks, Brother said, Nakarna, Naprajaya, Dhanena, Tyagainaike, Amrutatva, Manasu. Means without Tyaga, you don't have realization. So what is the first one? Nakarma. Nakarma means karma is an activity. So Seva also is an activity. So that is excluded for liberation. So what is it we are talking? When we say something, we are quoting. If karma is an activity, Seva is another activity, it's a karma, and it is excluded for liberation, then what is that we are quoting these beautiful verses? If we remember, Swami said, I give you reward when you serve me. And he asked, what is the reward? Doing service, doing work. I give you reward. What is that reward? Swami said, more work is the reward. More service is the reward. When you do service, the reward is more service. It is not. Karma is excluded, Seva is excluded from liberation. You won't attain liberation if you do just karma. The feeling that you are not doing is what is you have to give up. That is what is when they say, Tyage meke, what you have to give up? Give up that you are the one who is doing it. Then only you will be going closer to the liberation. You have to give up the doership. Then only it's not that we get, there's no reward and award. Swami said there's nothing like that. The reward for work is more work. Reward for service is more service. That is what Swami has said. So, when we are all saying about service and yes, definitely Sathya Sai Seva volunteers, sir, it's unparalleled in human history. Nowhere in the world you will find a group of people indulge in service activities without making any noise, without asking any reward, without telling without any expectations. A selfless service has to be seen anywhere by any organization. It is the Sathya Sai organization on this planet. But having said, how many of us are able to do it? That is the question we need to ask. How many of us can do without reward? How many of us without award, without recognition? That feeling that what we have has to be let go. Once we let go, only we will be moving closer to God. That is what Swami has talked about Seva. Seva should take you closer to God, not limit you in that path. Many people will self-aggrandize. I am doing this, I am doing that, I have done that, I have done this. That is only blocks you from that journey. That will not lead you to anywhere else. That selflessness is what required. Swami has time and again said, that is what is dearer to me. The selfless service is what is dearer to me. Definitely, yes, recognized people, yes. That's on a very mundane level, very normal level, we do that. In any case, I remember one quote of Swami Vivekananda. He says, he who says he serves others is an ignorant person. Swami Vivekananda says this. If you say you are serving others, you are an ignorant, you don't understand. You don't serve anybody, you serve your own self and your own service. That is what we need to understand. We never serve anybody else. Because God is present in every human being, as much as present in you. So you are serving that same God in everybody. So he says you don't serve anybody, you serve your own self. Because that divine entity is within you also. And there is nobody who can say, I don't need service of anybody. It's impossible. You need, all of us are wearing nice, very creased shirts and very clean clothes. Somebody has served you, somebody has washed your clothes, somebody has done something. Whether it's for money or more money, less money, that's a different issue. Somebody is doing it. Somebody, today so many of you are gathered here, somebody has brought you by train, somebody has brought you by car, somebody has brought you by bus, somebody is doing some service. Some may be volunteer, some may not be volunteer. But some service is involved. Somebody is spending their time there, whatever for reason. He is doing the work for you. For everything. There's nobody on this planet can say, I don't need service of anybody. It's impossible. You cannot exist without. Somebody has to cook for you to eat food. So somebody or other is working all the time so that you are absolutely ready and come here and participate here. So service in itself, nobody can deny. That's why Swami did not go into huge or talk about he sort of distilled entire scriptures. And he said, love and service are the two things which you require. That's why he said, the essence of entire scriptures, the Vedas, Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, he condensed it and said, simply love of serve all. That is the essence. You can't any more further iterate this. As long as human beings exist on this planet, these two are required, love and service. And that's why Swami said, my institutions will last as long as sun and moon is around. How is it that is possible? Because he has given these two things which as long as we come onto this planet, as long as human beings are on this planet, you will require these two. And that is providing. So he says, yes, my institutions will be there till sun and moon are there. Because these two have to be there for human beings, love and service. All the essence of Brahma Sutras, essence of Upanishads, essence of Vedas, that is what it is. Swami said, help ever, hurt never. Same thing Narada asked Vyasa, you have written 18 Puranas. Who has the time to read all this in Kali Yuga? Give the gist, then that is what Vyasa said. Astadasya Puraneshu Vyasasya Vachanadvaya Paropagara Punyaya Papaya Parapidana. Paropakara punyaya papaya parapidana. If you do good to others, is punya. Paropakara punyaya. Papaya parapidana. If you are doing anything harming others or hurting others, that is papa. So with all this, Swami created a small gist. He said, help ever, hurt never. This is what 18 Puranas gist of it. So love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never is the mantra for our emancipation, for our liberation in this Kali age. There's no better ways. That's why Swami has distilled everything and he separated out everything because we will not have time, we will not understand complicated texts. He made it very simple and gave it because we are his children. Today, of course, Karnataka state, they have been serving a hospital and so glad so many of you have come here. I think 500-600 of you have gathered here. Raghav sir, as much as you have done for Sathya Sai hospital in Puttaparthi, now Karnataka Seva also are serving in Prashanti Nilayam as a batches. Last 4-5 years we are. It's thanks to COVID. We had short of people. I said one day I was walking with Koteshwara and Chalam and said, Karnataka is escaping, let them come also here. They said, no, they are going to hospital. I said, fine. Still, Karnataka is so strong that they can still do this also on purpose. Because Swami has travelled across Karnataka as much as he has travelled in Andhra Pradesh. I think every district he has travelled. Most of the districts he has travelled, and as much as I remember, Swami would fondly recollect so many people, so many districts, so many corners of Karnataka. So when we asked for Sevadal from Karnataka, they really agreed. Today, in a roster, national roster, Karnataka is doing 3 times. What was that? 3 times they are doing. Roster they are doing 3 times. Every time they are coming with 14 to 1500 people. And that also it is like they say, it's like a Hanuman has to be told that you are great, Balvanta, Gunavanta, all that you have to do. Like that, Karnataka people also needed to be told, you are very strong, you can do it, and all that. Today, whenever we are short of any Sevadal from anywhere else, generally we depend on Andhra and especially the Rayalaseema, our district. Today we have even neighboring districts of Chikbalapur, Ballari and all, they just come off whenever we have short of, by any chance of train cancellation, something happens. If we have short of Sevadal, definitely there is a small contingent who is ready to support Sevadal in Puttaparthi. And so much so, now we have North Karnataka state and South Karnataka state is one only. Sai organization has got North Karnataka and South Karnataka and 2 state presidents. They are competing with each other. So much so that even not Karnataka, half Karnataka is doing service in Puttaparthi, full service. That means what? Generally, 1500 people roster is given to one state. Today, half the Karnataka is able to do full 1500. That means what is this? Don't misunderstand that Rathnakar has got good Sevadal, so he is happily enjoying it. I am only saying how much you people love Swami and Swami's love. It is a reflection of Swami's love also in Karnataka people. That is what I am trying to tell. That so many people. It's not one batch of 1500 to bring in a state is a little task. Now, half the state is bringing because the north is separate and south is separate. So, Venkat Gosavi says, sir, we will do full-fledged. Now, Padma Pai also says, we will also do full-fledged. So, that means the number of people coming into Sai movement, people are wanting to be part of it, is so high. I think as much as Swami spent his time in Puttaparthi, he is also spending in Karnataka, especially Whitefield. It's his home actually. So many people used to, even Swami sometimes acknowledge when people tell that Puttaparthi is in office and Vrindavan is my home, because he used to be very relaxed. Very relaxed. So I see many times regularly people coming into Vrindavan, and again I see photographs cleaning and doing everything, keeping up the Vrindavan. They keep coming regularly. This love for each other, Swami's love and their love for Swami is eternal. And as long as Swami said, Sai mission is there, Sevadal are there. As long as moon and sun are there, Sevadal are there, Sai mission is there. As long as human being requires love and service, these institutions will thrive forever and ever. You know, just before I conclude, Seva is also helpful to all of us. Swami in one discourse he said, you go to bank, you have an account there, you want some money to draw from the bank, so you go there and you give a check to the cashier, the teller. What is he going to do immediately? As soon as you write check, is he going to give money? Will he give the money? No. What will he do? What is he going to do? He will see the check amount, how much you get. He will check your account. If sufficient balance is there, he will pass it and do that. If no sufficient balance, but what you have written is more, what will he do? He will return the check. He will say, take it back, you don't have sufficient balance. Swami says, even in the bank of God, you have an account. You keep giving check to God. Please, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಬರೆದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಣ್ಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಮೈ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಜಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ದೇವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ, ಡಿಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೇನೋ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಡಿಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಮೈ ಕನ್ನಡ ಇಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಈ ಸೇವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದಂತ ಒಂದು ಡಿಪಾಸಿಟ್, ಪುಣ್ಯ. ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ when you do good work, good karma, you get punya. That punya is deposited to that bank account. When that account is filled, you write a check, then he will also check, God also will check, okay, this fellow is asking for job for his, he has done some good reasonably. Let us grant him. Sometimes overdraft also, Swami said, I will give you, even it's not valid. I think you should be sincere. If you are not sincere, how? If you are very friendly with the bank manager, he will give. Adinu madala. You don't even come for seva work also. If you are not doing it, it's okay. At least come up, turn up in either Prashant Nilam or in hospital. Some people don't come. So, when you want anything from God, you also ask what you want. That's why Swami whenever Swami is saying there are terms and conditions apply. You bank loan ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಫಂಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ನಾವು ಓದೋದಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಬೇಕಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. whenever there is a problem they will say, sir, that you will see that. So ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹತ್ರ ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇವೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಲೆಸ್. It is a condition, not for your own sake. for self-aggrandizement. Not that somebody should praise you. You should have selfless. It is not here, we have come here to create an identity for ourselves. No, that anybody can do anywhere else. There are so many other forums. Here, we come to lose our identity into God. That is what we all should realize. It is not to create God. Here, we should see only Swami, not you. Then only the meaning of Seva will come. Rathnakar was saying about that 100th birthday and the grand celebrations and beautiful celebration. Really, thousands of messages I received. But very honestly, it can be done only by the divine blessings of Baba. Because individuals can achieve this. We are only a servants, expect of the Lotus Feet of Swami. These gigantic functions, the kind of participation of people. The highest constitutional authorities of this country are in Prashanti. The president, the vice president, the prime minister, the chief justice. There is nobody beyond this. In any, either it is judiciary, either it is in executive, it is in any legislature, nothing. Beyond this, there is nobody. All of them are coming and presenting themselves. And mind you, Swami is not physically present. That is the power of love. That is the power of love. That is the power of love. Today, all of them, the kind of lakhs of people who have congregated into Prashanti. The amount of food that's served every day, lakhs of people are eating. I can't even imagine 10,000 Seva are working in. Many of them have not even come into the Kulvanthal for darshan. They are only serving. They are the real angels. Like, they are the real angels. They don't want their face to be recognized. They don't want any recognition. They know that only Swami knows them. Even their group leader may not know their name or from where they are coming. They are assigned, that's all. They have to get the work done. They may not even come to Kulvanthal. They may not even participate in any program. But they are silently working. And they are working for whose recognition? They are working the recognition of Swami. They know Swami knows what they are doing. That bhava, that feeling is what is required for Seva. Every Sevak, all fellow Sevaks I want to tell you, please, as it is we are doing service, but give up that Tyaga make not the, again I repeat what I said in the beginning. Service is a karma. Karmic, it's an activity. By doing that you won't get anything. It's a time sanctifying. It's instead of doing some chit-chatting or playing cards or doing some unnecessary work, it's a time sanctifying activity that this forum has provided. But do it with love, do it with dedication, do it with non-doership. That I am the one who did. Once you give up, that becomes worship, that becomes archana, that becomes puja. Otherwise it won't. So you want to offer something to Swami as service, do it without any attachment to it. Then only Swami will accept it, and that service has blessings with it. Many people we have seen do service, Jaya Vijaya or servants of Mahavishnu. But they have some ego with them. So they have to be sent back as Ravana's Rathnakar, Hiranyakashipu. They all have to come back because they were in the Vaikuntha. They were doorkeepers of Mahavishnu, but somewhere they had arrogance. So they were sent back. Humility. Seva with humility. Seva with selflessness. Seva with commitment, dedication. And Seva, importantly, without feeling the doership, I am the one who will be. No. Again, he who says he serves others is an ignorant. So please, let us all be together. 10,000 people coming to do Seva is not an ordinary thing. Not an ordinary thing. Unheard of. I don't know how many of you had the timely food. Could they catch up enough sleep? Can't imagine. The kitchens were running 24/7. Somebody came and asked me, how is that you are serving hot food all the time? I also don't know. That is the power of Seva. We don't know. Swami makes you do things. People achieve extraordinary. The beauty of Sai mission is the ordinary people do extraordinary things. It is not the extraordinary people. The ordinary people, regular people from householders, people from housemakers, ladies. It's beyond anybody's comprehension. They were all cutting vegetables. The ladies were cutting vegetables. And just listening to bhajans. And I asked them, are you tired? They said, no. Because we are all the time constantly hearing the name of Swami in bhajans. They are more energized. They work like machines. Because the power is Swami's name. The power is his thought. That is what millions of people are going through today. So we are very lucky. We are very fortunate. It is a merit earned in many, many births. Like somebody said, why 100 Sevadal, you can as well employ them. Swami said, no, they have prayed for it. Yes. This is our right. We have prayed for it, we worked for it, and we got it. We should not let go of this. That is what we should. So, all my fellow savers here, let us continue to be part of this beautiful mission, selflessly. As it is, all of you are coming here. 25 years is not a small time. We've been working, I think many batches, many people, maybe a generation and next generation also would have come. But this Seva Yagna should continue. Of course, little bit of talking to each other, saying and patting each other is normal. I also expect somebody says, sorry, it was a wonderful. It's not that I don't say, somebody says, 100 birthday is fantastic, sir, very good year. We feel somewhere happy, right? That's because in Seva, though we feel good about it. That personally, what I do is I think it is Swami telling me. Because I don't say people are telling me, because people can tell anything. But whenever there is something, I take it as Swami's, whichever is a criticism or it is a praise. I think it is Swami who is telling me. So that's how we need to also proceed in this beautiful journey of Seva, and which Sathya Sai organization is given us, and Swami has blessed us. And may Swami bless all of us. Like Swami said, Seva reward or Inka Seva. So Inka Seva, because only when he rewards us, only we can work. If he doesn't want you to be part of his mission, he will not be able to. Always remember. Seva also is called, he has given you this opportunity. Nobody, even 10,000 horses pull you to Prashant Nilayam or to his mission, you cannot enter unless he permits. He is permitting us. He is giving us that opportunity. He is in his benevolence, his kindness, his grace, he is allowing us. ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದ್ವಿ ಸೇವಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೇವಾಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದ್ವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಮೈ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ನೀವು ಮೈ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯನೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಪುರುಷತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡು ಸೇವ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ you think you can come for save. So many things have to synchronize. for you to come and do service. So all that is provided by Swami. So let us be always grateful and let us have this wonderful Seva journey. Today they said Seva Vandanam. Not for Seva Vandanam, it is Seva Vandanam. I am happy whichever way they have intended, but it is not Seva Vandanam, it is Seva Vandanam. All of us should go down to that Seva, even all of us, because we are not Seva. Let us not self-aggrandized say we have done it today, we did some. No. It is Seva Vandanam. Vandanam for Seva. That Seva which is coming in our way, we have to bow down. All Seva that I request. With that feeling, we have to be, not that somebody has called you to recognize you and do Vandanam for you. No. Not for us. That will be a very, very, it will be a complete digression. No. Seva Vandanam is, all of us go down to Seva so that the Seva keeps coming to us, so that we get blessed and we will be more blessed and more blessed. So that our life will be sanctified and we will be, not only we, when we are sanctifying, it just spreads. If there is a fragrant flower, it is not just confined, that fragrance automatically spreads all over. To our family, to people, to neighbors. So we become a fragrant flowers which will give that beautiful fragrance. And that fragrance doesn't need any prop to take it. The fragrance automatically spreads. So we become that fragrant flowers of Seva, and let us offer these fragrant flowers of Seva to the lotus feet. And may Swami bless you and your families and your children and everybody in your clan. May Swami give you good health, long life, prosperity and peace, so that we continue to travel on this path of service and always reach that lotus feet at some appointed time. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir, for your encouragement, blessings and guidance. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. Your words reaffirm our commitment to walk the path of selfless service with renewed devotion and responsibility. Each one of the volunteers here is serving with the spirit of Sarva Karma Bhagavad Prityartham, Sarva Karma Bhagavad Archikam. It is done, each one of you is doing as an offering to please Bhagwan and earn His grace. And it is He who will bless you and your families for your seva. However, as a mark of gratitude, it's our duty to acknowledge your generosity, for your time, for your knowledge and skill. Due to paucity of time, names are not being read out, but request each one of you to accept a memento as a token of Bhagwan's love and grace. All the volunteers can be seated in your respective places, and I request the dignitaries and the senior functionaries of the hospital to present the mementos to the volunteers in their respective places. The ladies' side, I request Mr. Rathnakar to and join by senior functionaries of the hospital to distribute the mementos.
Sit down. Donors group.
China. Before we move to the next segment, we wish to inform the gathering that our chief guest, Sri Rathnakar sir, will now be taking leave due to a prior commitment. Sir, we are deeply grateful for gracing this occasion. We are grateful for his inspiring words and for his continued guidance in all our endeavors. We offer our humble pranams and heartfelt thanks as he departs.
थैंक यू, आपने बहुत अच्छी स्पीच दी और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। आपको कन्नड़ मालूम है? थोड़ा मालूम है। हमें क्या मालूम?
Om Shri Sai Ram. We now move to the next segment, the heart of today's program, Voice of Volunteers. Reflections from those who serve selflessly in Bhagwan's healthcare mission. This segment features speakers who represent different dimensions of Sai Seva movement. Each carries a unique story of how Seva has touched, shaped, and transformed not only the lives of patients but also their own. We will begin with doctors who are the drivers of Bhagwan's healthcare mission. Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. In the ancient Bharatiya thought, the doctor is regarded as Narayana himself, the giver and sustainer of life. Bhagwan often said, in my hospitals, cure the patient with love first. Medicine will work better afterwards. In Swami's mission, the doctor's role is not merely to treat disease, but to restore hope, dignity, and confidence in every soul who walks in. Our first speaker this evening truly embodies the spirit of global Seva. Dr. Shivaraman Yajnaraman, a distinguished cardiologist from New Jersey, has been a pillar of support to our hospital for over 2 decades. A visiting electrophysiologist since 2002, he has made 45 visits, trained our consultants and D&D residents, and helped establish our electrophysiology and device implantation program. And above all, his priceless teaching, mentorship, and loving service stand as a shining testament to his unwavering devotion to Bhagwan's mission. I now invite Dr. Yajnaraman to share his thoughts.
Om Shri Sai. My most humble pronouns at Bhagwan's lotus feet. My heartfelt gratitude to Director Sir, Dr. Sundaresh, the members of the Trust, and all of you to have brought me here in your midst. I would really like to say at the outset that talking about Seva to you all is likened to an old proverb that is even forgotten, carrying coal to Picasso, proverbial coal. I think he praised me too much in the introduction. I would like to say this and say this again. There's only one doctor. and it is Bhagwan. So I'm just going to, I know in the interest of time, I'm going to just relate two stories. My journey started towards this hospital 25 years ago. Now, if I were to ask you the question, suppose you were in, Puttaparthi 25 years ago, that is a year before this hospital was built and commissioned, and you wanted to volunteer, you wanted to Seva, and you applied, and all of us expect to be accepted readily. What would you think in your mind if you got rejected? So what would you think in your mind? Would you be very disappointed? I think most people or everybody will agree. But I'll tell you my personal story. When I was rejected, actually I was feeling quite good in myself, and I will tell you why. So 25 years ago, I met Dr. Keshav Prasad, who was the chief of cardiology at Puttaparthi. He was kind enough to show me around the hospital. And then he asked me, what kind of a cardiologist are you? So cardiologists come in many flavors, non-invasive cardiologists, we have interventional cardiologists, we call them plumbers, and where are Dr. Rita and Dr. Pratt. And then the electricians are myself, electrophysiologists. So I told him that I'm an electrophysiologist, and he said, we need electrophysiologists, we have equipment here that's gathering dust, and why don't you come and do procedures here, teach our fellows? So I said, okay. And then I went back home to the US, and he had told me, send me a copy of your CV and a photograph. So I guess those days, the CV and the photograph had to be submitted to Swami for his approval. So I went there, I went back and I gathered my CV and a photograph, and then the thought struck me. Are you going there to Puttaparthi to do Seva? Or are you going there to do Seva so that you can sit in the veranda? That's a very disturbing thought. First I thought, what is this? Monkey mind is, playing now. Then I felt uncomfortable. I said, okay, we'll deal with this later. So I put my CV back. And a few weeks later, I picked up my CV again. I said, I have to mail it now. Again, the same thought came, except that if the thoughts can be louder and more intrusive, it was more intrusive, more insistent. Are you going there to do Seva? Are you going there to do Seva so that you can sit there in the veranda? I believe those days, position in the veranda was very coveted. It's a very, near us Bhagwan. And I also felt intimidated at being so close because I said, I was prepared to go and do Seva, but I didn't know whether I deserved to be there, near Bhagwan. So another 2 months went by. Again, I picked up my CV. Same thing, intrusive thought. Are you going there to do Seva? Are you going there to do Seva so that you can sit there? I put my CV away. So from a series of questions and thoughts, it began a study circle in my mind. And after some time, it threatened to become like a battle, a Kurukshetra battle, saying, are you going to do this for this? Then Dr. Keshav Prasad called me after about 7-8 months. He said, hey, you have not sent me the CV. Where is the CV? Then I said, okay, I sent him the CV and the photograph. And 2 weeks later, I got a letter from the administrative officer. Said, Sairam, thank you for your interest in application. We have enough and more doctors, we don't need you. So now, I was the most relieved person. Because I said, I've done my bit, and Swami has said, you don't have to come. Then I started becoming more philosophical. I said, what lesson should I learn from this other than the rejection? Maybe I should improve. Maybe I should improve my knowledge. I should improve my skills, my attitude, my love for others. All these things went on like a study circle. And then 2 weeks later, Dr. Keshav Prasad called me and said, Arey, where is your CV? I said, I sent you the CV and I got rejected. He said, oh, I can tell you why, what happened. He said, one day Swami called, I think 3-4 weeks before that, called the person from administration and said, this was 8:30 in the morning. And I believe he asked him, is the hospital a holiday today? And he said, no, Swami, it's a working day. They also asked him, are there no patients in the OPD? So he said, Swami, there are a lot of patients in the OPD. Then he said, why are all these doctors still sitting here? So So he was terrified. He said, Swami is blaming me. These doctors come, they don't leave the veranda in time, and I'm being blamed. He said, I'm not going to let anybody get approved. So my application landed on his desk and rejected. So Dr. Keshav said, send it again. We need an electrophysiologist. So I said, here it goes again. So I sent it to him. And 2 weeks later, he said, call me. So I called him. And he said, I have good news for you and I have bad news for you. He said, the good news is you're approved. But the bad news is all the equipment for this has been transferred to Whitefield. And I was the happiest person because, when I look back, how loving Swami is. So I had a list of priorities in my mind. I said, okay, I'll do Seva, but I kind of felt intimidated going and sitting in the veranda area. And I also felt, bad. I was wondering, what would people say if I don't go for darshan at all? And here was the perfect solution, equipment in Whitefield. So I started coming to, Whitefield from the following year. And Dr. Dash was the chief of cardiology then. So the equipment was new, the system was new, the program stimulator was new. So initially we had to get used to it. And this thing, I don't know how many of you would remember Narsima Vihara, he was the manager, health lab manager. And so I told him the assignment, I said, tonight you have to read the manual. Who reads the manual for these these things? I said, you have to read the manual and I'll give you a list of questions, tomorrow I'm going to ask you. So that's how the first electrophysiology procedure at the hospital happened. Like anything else, when you start, you will start slowly. You have to lay a foundation. So from a trickle, it became a torrent. We started doing more and more cases. Dr. Ashok Garg from Arizona, he started coming, a few years later. And most recently, one of my other friends, Dr. Srivatsan, he's very accomplished. He is coming from Mayo. So we kind of, try to do this along with the help of Dr. Rita and Dr. Prayag. They are the pillars of cardiology. And of course, I don't know, and the angels in the hospital and the angels particularly in the cardiology cath lab, including, Brother Divakar and everybody else, I don't know how many of them are here. And they have been the ones who have helped to build the program to what it is. Now, I'd just like to share a quick story as to how I've seen it, what's been my, what Swami has taught me. It was about almost 20 years ago, 2005. Dr. Rita might remember this instance. We had 2 patients. It was a camp that we did for a week. And we had 2 patients with heart muscle dysfunction and heart failure who needed a special kind of a pacemaker. And so they presented the case. We went over the cases, but we had only 1 pacemaker. So we have 2 sick patients, only 1 pacemaker with its 3 leads. And so they said, who should we put it into? I said, you should be asking me. I said, you should be asking Dr. Das. He's the chief of the department. I didn't want to take the responsibility for denying somebody. He said, no. Then Dr. Das laughed and said, hey, you're the electrophysiologist. You make the decision. So I thought, what should I do? Why am I in this predicament? Then we said, okay, let's go over the details, and we went over every parameter. And then we decided, let's call both the patients. And they were there in the hospital. Let's repeat the echocardiogram. And the first lady we repeated, the heart muscle function was all the way down. It still had not improved with medication. Then we knew that that patient needed. Now I knew I was in trouble. There's a 50-50 chance that the second person would also need it. When we did the echo on the second lady, miraculously, the heart muscle function was normal. So only a cure. So now the dilemma has been solved. This lady got the 3-lead pacemaker. Everything went in perfectly, Swami's grace. And then I went back home. When I went back home, my wife said, one of our friends had called, he's a Sai devotee. So subsequently I called him. And he said, "Oh, doctor, by the way," before I could even say anything, he said, "You know, I want to tell you about my distant relative. His mother had some heart problem, heart muscle weakness. So he went to Swami and asked Swami, what should we do?" And Swami said, "I believe, let her take medication. Yes, she also needs that special pacemaker. Take her to Whitefield Hospital. The doctors, including somebody who's going to come from outside, they're going to do it. And she'll be cured and she'll be fine." And this happened about 2 months before all this. So I was thinking, what is my role in all of this? You know, I am nothing. You know, he's the one who gives the knowledge, skills, strength, resources, etc. But he's already decided. I mean, he's omniscient. He's omnipotent. He has actually cured the other lady so that we would be on the right path. We wouldn't have a choice as to who to choose and implant. And he's omnibenevolent. You know, he solves everybody's dilemma. So with that, I thank the service of every one of you here, and I wish you all many decades more of service to Swami. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yathinam, for sharing the genesis of the electrophysiology program and also the heartwarming stories of the patients who miraculously recovered. Your service reminds us that distance is no barrier when love for Bhagwan is the driving force. When the Sri Sathya Sai General Hospital, lovingly called Swami's Little Hospital, was established in 1976, it was run almost entirely by voluntary doctors. Incidentally, along with the Silver Jubilee of the Super Speciality Hospital, it happens to be the Golden Jubilee of Sri Sathya Sai General Hospital in August of 2026. Today, nearly 50 voluntary doctors serve regularly, and more than 125 have offered their expertise since its inception. Our next speaker is an accomplished orthopedic surgeon who has been offering Seva with remarkable consistency since 1991. A former professor, head medical superintendent, director, and dean of Bowring and Lady Curzon Medical College and Research Institute, Bengaluru, he embodies excellence grounded in humility. He started the Department of Orthopedics in the General Hospital in 1991 and also performed the first hip replacement in the same year and the first knee replacement in 1995. And the work has continued relentlessly since then, a testament to 3 decades of unwavering dedication. Please welcome Dr. Manjunath K.S. to share his reflection this evening.
Om Sri Sai Ram. At the outset, I offer my pranam to the Lotus Feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And also, I convey my gratefulness and thanks to the organizers and director Dr. Suresh for giving me this honor of talking my experiences in this institution. Since the time is already going fast and my time is very short, so it is difficult for me to tell everything in a very short span. My journey started in 1991, as was told, 33 years back. I was only 33-year-old when I was sitting idly without any job in Boring and Medical Hospital because I was a junior most fellow. There was no job for government doctors then, particularly lecturers, because we were the lower most category of the people in the department and could not do any useful work to the department there. So I was restless. I wanted to do something, but I never had an opportunity to do anything over there. I don't know how. Swami, I was never a devotee of Sathya Sai at all there, but also I must tell you, confess you. I was not even knowing there are institutions called Sathya Sai institutions existing elsewhere. I was not even knowing Sathya Sai General Hospital existing in Whitefield there. I was sitting idly in Mohan Medical Hospital. One fine day, one person came, Dr. Mohan from General Hospital, and asked me if I was interested to come and work in Sathya Hospital. I was quite jobless, I told you. I was very jobless and I was eager to work because I wanted to do something. I was nothing at that point of time. My orthopedic skill, knowledge, and experience was zero. I was a non-descriptive entity existing in Boring Hospital. Somehow Swami identified me. I don't know why he chose me. He identified me and a word was sent to me. That's what I understood because Mohan came all the way from there to here. And my willingness to work there was taken back and it was put before Dr. Balasubramanian, who was the then medical superintendent of the General Hospital, who in turn went to Swami and took the permission because Swami had to consent for everything. Anybody who was coming in, Swami had to consent. So Swami consented, so I entered the institution. When I entered the institution, it was only a maternity hospital with one or two other departments working. Ophthalmology department was there and anesthesia, doctors were there and maternity was the predominant thing going on there. And I was not knowing what to do because it was the department I had to start with. Then I asked Balasubramanian how to go ahead with this. He said, you don't have a lot of money, no funds in this hospital because orthopedic is a very expensive department. For everything, it is very highly expensive, the instruments and the implants and everything, infrastructure. So it was difficult for the hospital to start everything in the beginning. So he told me that I have to go very slowly and cautiously. Do as much as possible without incurring a lot of expenditure to the institution. So then I decided to descend on to cases like pediatric orthopedics, children with congenital deformities, congenital hip defects, cerebral palsy patient, polio. These were the patients who are plentifully available around in the neighboring areas. Polio, myelitis patients, post-pleural paralysis patients. And they were not requiring any implants or instruments or any money is required. It was only what required was only the deformity correction, tendon transfers, muscle transfers, deformity correction, and these things were not very expensive. So I started screening these patients and started doing the work there. And that work went well. Thousands and thousands of people started coming to the hospital, and you believe it or not, our hospital outpatient was running somewhere even 10:30 in the night. I used to finish my outpatient in 10:30 in the night and I used to go home. And going home was not that easy. Whitefield was a very, very remote place then in 1991. We had to go through the forest area. That's what I was always thinking. Very small road, a 10-feet road connecting Bangalore to Whitefield. A poorly lit road. There was no lights at all. Rainy seasons were very horrible. We could not even drive. So that was the very difficult situation. But yet, Swami was taking care of me like anything. I was completing my outpatient till 10:30 and go home, doing surgery and go. That was the amount of patients we used to get there. And Swami loved that institution because there's a lot of love existing in that hospital. Swami always told, I always believe that Swami chose the people to his mission, maybe health mission or whatever the mission is. He must have chosen the people who fall into the framework of doing some dedicated work. Like people who have got work within the principles of Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. This is the fundamental core principles Swami was often telling, repeatedly telling. These are the core principles, these are the framework within which everybody has to work. Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. This is the boundaries. We cannot go beyond this boundary. And I wonder, Swami chose all those doctors who worked in such a hospital, in General Hospital then, as 100 doctors, were all working within this framework. They were all dedicated. They were all honest. They were all coming with selfless motto and interest. And that's how that hospital was running smoothly, effortlessly. And even without the fear of a doctor in the night, see, I used to do surgeries for the children, 6-month-old child, 9-month-old child. And there was no post-operative ward, no ICU, no resident doctor to see look after the patients. But still, no complications happened. Because it's all because of the mercy of this one. No resident doctor was existing till probably after that Sundaresh joined there, he brought in some residents over there who could see in the night time. Before that, there was no doctor existing there except Dr. Savitri, who was a master of all for all the departments. She was looking after. So that is how Swami took care in the initial years of service, and he loved the hospital like anything because everything was going on as he thought of. Means his principles were very much followed in that institution. Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. That's how it worked. But whatever it may be, I told you in the beginning, I was not a devotee of Sai. I was skeptic. I was a non-believer. I was arrogant, adamant, and always looking outwards. I was ambitious and dreamer. But Swami changed me. Swami changed me in 1996. He made me more inward. He made me more introspective. He made me more a staunch believer. So that was a turning point in 1996, which happened. I think I must have described all these things in my YouTube interview with Sathya Sai organization. It becomes a repetition if I start telling all these things. But a bad incident happened that my daughter met with an accident. And she had a severe ankle injury, a growth plate injury, a morbid injury. And it was a big story. I think it takes a long time. I'll cut it short. I treated myself because on that day when the accident happened, I was in Sathya Sai hospital. I was operating there late in the night. I went home at 10:30 or 11 in the night as usual because I was operating here, and after operating, I was finishing my outpatient. And after finishing the outpatient, I used to go home by scooter. So it was around 10:30, 11 and I reached home. She had already met with a very severe, growth plate injury accident to the ankle joint. And I had no option but to take her and I only tried do some post election or anything or anesthesia. It was a difficult thing. I did it. Next morning I went everywhere to have the opinion. I went even to Dr. Sundaresh also. He's sitting here. I went to him as an MS Ramaya. He was actually there. And all of the opinion that this was a very bad injury. And complications were already written on it, like deformity, limb deformity, shortening, and so many things. So I was depressed a lot because of this injury. Because she was only an 8-year-old girl when the accident happened. And it was a very bad accident. So at that point of time, that Savitri told me once that I should come to Vrindavan to have the blessing of Swami. Swami was supposed to come on that particular period, probably for the summer course. So she told me that come one day in the morning and have the blessing. And she also told me that Swami will not accept any Namaskaram. You come, you stand separately in a male queue, and your wife and daughter will be in the separate line. Swami will come along. He will not accept, nobody should take the Namaskaram. If he himself stops in front of you, you think that your job is done. That's what the information she gave to me. So I came one day in my scooter with my daughter and my wife. We were sitting in the lines, different lines. Swami came out. And he made a big walk. He went around, he never stopped anywhere. He came to the ladies' line, he stopped in front of my wife and the daughter. He stopped there. And they took the Namaskar. He didn't do anything, he never stood to himself. Then he came around, he made it again a big round, he came to the male side and stopped in front of me. So I also took all the stuff. Then he went away. Nothing happened. He didn't ask me anything. I didn't do anything. After many months or some weeks, when I opened the plaster of Paris for my daughter, it is unbelievable that the fracture had healed so well. It was almost like a near normal joint. Ankle joint was perfectly normal. Absolutely not even a millimeter shortened. But Sundaresh knows about it. He also told me that she may have some complications. And I had gone to his hospital in West Bengal. It was such a bad injury. Definitely she was to have ankle deformity, limb shortening, all those complications, but never happened at all. Not even a millimeter of shortening, not even a degree of deformity. So that is the point of time I became more involved. And I became a staunch devotee. That is the turning point in my life. So from then onwards, it was no stop for me. I went very closer to Swami. I became physically very closer to Swami. I had huge number of occasions. I had an opportunity to interact with Swami, talk to Swami, got messages from Swami. Swami was offering I don't know why he was offering so much of love to me. It's unbelievable. Every time I used to go home, he never used to send me back with a bare hand. He used to give me something or the other. Not even a single time I remember that I came back from Puttaparthi without getting anything from him. So that was the love he was showing to me. I don't know why, but it happened that way. But I remember Swami has on 4 or 5 days, because I had such an opportunity to have one-to-one interaction with Swami. I was so lucky to have one-to-one interaction with Swami, both in Puttaparthi as well as in Tree, and many times. And every time we had a one-to-one, Swami driven a message to me. So some of all these messages, I think many of the speakers already have spoke about this. But the 4 important messages that was driven deep into my mind is still there in my mind. The first message he gave me was, you should never deviate the path of righteousness. Always tread the path of righteousness. Never deviate under any circumstances. Come what may, don't deviate the path of righteousness. This was the first message he gave me. Means that righteousness means the same Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. Never ever go. So long you are stuck to there, I am always there for you. I am always with you. I will always support you. I will always help you. That was the first message he gave me. Second message was, he told, don't think or don't claim for all your successes that you are the owner of the success. Don't claim the success to yourself. You are not the owner of the success or the failures. You are only an actor. I am the doer. He told very clearly about this. Whatever you are doing, whatever the success you are getting or the failures you are getting, I am responsible for that. I am the master, you are the tool. You are all tools. I am the master. He told that I am not. See, all these messages he communicated to me in the form of anecdotes, experiences that I don't have a time to tell all those things. Otherwise, it will take a long time. How he told that we are only tools, he is the master. That happened through an experience. That experience I cannot tell you now because the time is short. So that is the second message he passed on to me. Third message is, this is related about the body and soul. This message was given to me when I was sitting with Swami in prayer. There were a lot of efforts were going on in Bangalore and Puttaparthi that Swami should be operated upon by doing a throat lip replacement. I am just talking to you, I am telling you this. There is a big efforts from the highest level to every level. They were interested in pushing the Swami into throat lip replacement. But Swami was least interested in it. Absolutely not interested. The efforts were so much, even the surgeons have descended from US, United States. but went back without doing anything. Efforts were made to pick up somebody within Bangalore, but they also finally said no. They rejected. They said we are not going to do surgery on him. All these things are because of Swami. Swami only has done all these things. Swami made him refusing. Finally, when the effort was made that somebody should be within our own devotee circle, should operate upon, so that was the time I had one-to-one interaction with Swami in Tree. So it is at that point of time Swami told, this body is not mine. This body is yours. Yours means devotees. You can do whatever you want to do, you can do. Because this body does not belong to me, it belongs to you. But one thing you must remember, body and mind, you know about, he asked me as a question, do you know about body and mind? I said no. Sorry, body and soul. Do you know what is body and soul? He said, no, I don't know. Swami said, soul is a divinity, living in the temple of body. Body is temple, soul is divinity. I am living in a very big temple. So temple is very sacred. Temple is should not be violated. Nobody at no point of time should violate the temple. You should destroy them or violate the temple, pollute the temple. So body is a temple, don't violate it. So body is a chariot which carries God. So as a surgeon, you must remember, don't violate the body unnecessarily. This is the message he gave me. That was the time when everything was so. That was the time I said I totally withdrew myself in this movement of doing a total into Swami's body. I was pushed forward by many people to put this forward to the Swami that he has to accept the total adjustment. Then when Swami told like this, I withdrew myself. I accepted what Swami said. I understood what Swami said. Intervention should never be done unnecessarily. Intervention should be judicious, should be cautious, it should be rightly indicated. So that's what Swami told. This was the third message Swami put me into my mind. From then onwards, I was very, very careful in selecting the patient for surgery. I was never willing to do any injudicious surgeries. Fourth message, again, it happened in Tree. Swami told, this is about karma. He told, there are 3 levels of karma. One is kama karma. What everybody does on this earth is kama karma. Means they do karma for some benefits. Second level is nishkama karma. Nishkama karma is selfless service. But even there is a selfishness of getting some recognition, getting some emancipation. That is also a desire. So it becomes not, it will never become pure. So nishkama karma is good, but it is not pure. There the thoughts against are polluted. The third level of karma, he told, nivedana karma, means he told you surrender your action. If you do the third one, then you are the righteous man, you are the rightful man who can come to me. This was the message told to me. It's one-to-one. If you do a karma, you are not the owner of the karma, you are not owner of the result, you are not the action. You surrender everything to me, whether it is good or bad. Your job is only to do karma. He told you have to nivedana, you have to surrender it. Put it before me, saying that it belongs to you, not to me. It is that karma is I like. That is the karma I want. That's what he told me. It's very difficult, but we have to inculcate. All these principles, all these ethics, all the principles, very easy to say, but very difficult to practice. But Swami also told, you put one step, I will come to you 10 steps closer to you. Means effort should be put on in this regard. In these 4 important messages, I have been trained for the last 20-25 years. I've been trained to inculcate these 4 messages very hard in my practice and profession. I might not have achieved or I might not have fulfilled all these things. But efforts are important. Efforts in this direction definitely bring Swami closer to you. Swami will appear to you. Swami will be there within you, help you, guide you, and take your steps further forward. So with these 4 messages, I think my time is also going up. There are many things to tell, but I don't have time. I have definitely had an interview with the YouTube. I got an interview. It is there in the YouTube. Also, I wrote an article in. Sundaresh asked me to write an article on my experience with Swami. I have written recently an article on my experiences with Swami on Sathya Sai. That maybe if it is published, I think people can read. So with this, I pray pranam and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for recounting the experiences and messages from Bhagwan. And serving voluntarily and seeing patients in the OPD late into the night is a testament to your dedication and devotion to Bhagwan. It's a true inspiration for all the volunteers. Thank you, Dr. Manjunath. Now, Sevadals are the heartbeat of this hospital, and their warm smile and gentle salam transform the corridors into sacred spaces of comfort and care. Representing this spirit is Srimati Anasuya Kodandra, the Mahila Hospital Sevadal coordinator. Since joining Seva activities in 1991, and especially after being personally blessed by Swami to serve in this hospital from 2001, she has offered 25 years of unwavering, joyful and exemplary Seva. And now welcome Srimati Anasuya Kodandra to share her thoughts. Considering that we are running late, request all the rest of the speakers to briefly conclude. Thank you.
My most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. Salutations to all the dignitaries present here today. Managing Trustee of Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, Sri Rathnakar sir, who has just left. Director of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Dr. Sundaresh sir. Our former State President, Papa sir, and the present State President of Sathya Sai Organization, Karnataka, North and South, Sir Padmanabhan sir, and Mr. Goswami sir. Respected doctors and my dearest Sevadals, please accept my heartfelt salam to all of you all. Today is a wonderful day when we have been accorded the highest respect for our noble work in this grand celebration titled Seva Vandanam, where the silent Sevaks, who are the backbone of Swami's healthcare mission, has been acknowledged for their immense contribution. My experience with Swami mission began even before my birth, as my family was devoted to Shri Baba and Sathya Sai Baba since my grandparents' time. With my grandchild also within Swami's fold, we are truly blessed across 5 generations. During my childhood, our upbringing was guided by Swami personally. I always aspired to be close to him and serve him. About 3 years after my marriage, Swami instructed me to become a Sevadal. In 1991, a group of around 100 Mahilas, devotees, including myself, was officially called as active Sevadals from Bangalore. We often got guidance from Swami on the foundations of Seva, that is humility, unity, and discipline. Swami always insisted that we should set aside our personal differences and always work with a compassionate heart. I remember after this hospital was inaugurated in 2001, our first Mahila Seva coordinator, Mrs. Vimla Sham, had to relocate to Dubai. Swami pointed out at Mrs. Srimati Kusma Mohan and asked her to take over the responsibilities of the Mahila Sevadans of the hospital. I still remember how hesitant Kusmaka was when Swami asked her to shoulder this responsibility of managing the Mahila Sevadans of the hospital. Then 4 of us, our zonal coordinators, Mrs. Basanti Das, Lahita Sampat, Vanaja Reddy, and myself, Swami pointed out to each one of us. He said, they will be a support to you. They will be a pillar to you. So don't worry. Then Swami assured her lovingly, I am doing this work through you. I will guide you. I am with you. These words echo through me every time I face some challenges during this discharge of my duties in the sacred temple of healing. And I want each and every one of you to remember that Swami personally walked through each room and corridor of this beautiful hospital. Every brick here resounds with his blessings. Never forget that as we discharge our duties here, no work is big or small. All are his Swami's only. He would instill in us the importance of silently doing our allotted duty and not to speak too much, as it would reduce our internal energy. Another incident comes to my mind. Once when I was going on my rounds, a young mother approached me and asked me, who are you? Who are you? Were you doctors? I explained to her that we are Sevadans and we are helping out in the hospital. She told me that her 3-year-old daughter, small daughter, was admitted here for a heart surgery and burst into tears as I spoke to her encouragingly to pray to Swami. She wanted to know more about him, more about Swami and where we could get his darshan. A few days later, when I was in Puttaparthi and after darshan, I heard someone calling out loudly to me, Auntie, Auntie. I turned back and here was the same young mother. She came running to me and she said that I have seen Bhagwan. हमने भगवान को देख लिया. Auntie, हमने भगवान को देख लिया. Tears of joy was streaming down her cheeks, yet her eyes were glittering with faith and devotion. We may forget what we do, but they remember. Through their feedback, many more people are getting cured and finding their true self through Swami. Every day is a miracle of Swami unfolding before our eyes. Through these years, I have been associated with this beautiful hospital. There was not a single day when I have not felt Swami's presence here. In each patient, in each nurse who works hard, in each staff member, and each doctor who patiently and lovingly and carefully close them, in each tear of the family members, in each silent Sevadans. I see Swami's grace and love unfold before our eyes and my eyes. Swami said that when we Sevadans do our work with a smile untiringly, we lit a lamp of hope in someone's life. That is a huge responsibility, a responsibility which Swami has given us, a responsibility which we need to shoulder with love in our hearts and compassion in our work. Let our action bring glory to Swami. There are so many devotees of Bhagwan all over the world, but we are the only chosen few and blessed to join the beautiful, sacred Sevadans path. It is a blessing we got in after 7 births, he said. He told us once, because of the 7 births punya you get this scarf and you become my Sevadans. And we must be most grateful to him for giving us this opportunity. Swami, I pray to Swami that I don't get moksha. I don't want moksha. I want to come back when Swami comes back again to this beautiful earth as an avatar and to serve him more and more and more to the distress. And my brothers and sisters, we should all pray for that. Come back again and be, because Swami has given us this hospital to do duty. It's so easy where we have to go and hunt for Seva. Swami said, go to my hospital, do Seva. And this paves a lifelong, moksha for us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Swami. Heartfelt gratitude to my beloved Lord to guide us and look after our families also. And he's also said that you do your duty, I will look after your family. So we don't just, when we walk here into this beautiful temple, we forget everything, excepting before us the Swami in everyone.
Thank you, madam, for those uplifting words. Thank you also for recounting how Swami has personally entrusted the responsibility of handling the coordination of the Mahila Sevadals to you and your team. It just reminds us of the grace that flows when Seva is performed with purity and surrender. The help desk team is the very first touch point for every patient who seeks an appointment, guidance, or follow-up at our hospital. This team is the doorway for the patients into our system, offering reassurance, clarity, and compassion from the very first call. It is only fitting that someone who helped build and strengthen this ecosystem speaks to us today. Shri Gunaranjan completed his schooling and higher education at Bhagwan School and Institute, culminating in an MBA in 2002. He later founded the UC Development Services, a volunteer engagement platform best known for creating Health for All, a free and open source hospital information system that supports the telehealth services of several free healthcare institutions, including our hospital and the Seva organization. Through these services, more than 200 plus alumni volunteer every week, collectively managing about 1,400 telehealth calls every single day. Today, 45 of those volunteers have traveled from different parts of India to be with us physically. A beautiful testimony for their love, commitment, and deep connection to Bhagwan's mission. They have come here to attend only this occasion and they are traveling back tonight. That is a testament to their dedication. I now invite Gunaranjan to share his thoughts.
Loving salutations to our beloved Bhagwan, Sai Ram to everyone. Technology, the progress in a lot of advanced telecommunications, information technology have spawned various media to facilitate work, communications, and the traditional media, and we've now engrossed in social media. But I think, and regarding which a lot of concerns are there, every technology is like a sport which can harm or help. And I think this is a great example of how these technologies have helped us to be closer to Him and use this as a Seva media. We've moved from social media and use the very same technologies to be of Seva for Bhagwan's healthcare institutions. And this Seva media has helped us cross all barriers of great traffic congestions which may preempt us from coming for Seva, give an excuse for not coming for Seva, or distances to go for Prashanti Seva, or we have to book tickets, we have to travel long distance. I think what this Seva media has enabled through this technology It's broken these barriers, broken those excuses, and has allowed us sitting at home to be able to do Seva from home. And today, as Chandrasekhar just mentioned, our volunteers every day, at least 100 of them are active every day, taking about 1,500 calls on a daily basis, which accounts to almost like 40,000 calls per month, and lovingly giving, responding information, and facilitating their appointments in a smooth manner to the institution. And to me, this is one thought I'd like to close with, that it has helped to live a message that through this media, the Seva media enabled through technology, has helped a lot of us live through this message of Swami in a very literal sense. That Swami would always sing, love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food, no reason for love, no season for love. I think through this Seva model, every day is a Seva day, and all times of the day there are round the clock our team working on these Seva activities. And I think it's a great opportunity to enable a lot more to participate. And there's a need, and we can exhort and invite many more to participate in this Seva. And with that thought, I'd like to come. Thank you, sir.
A big thank you to the help desk, the entire health team and volunteers for their selfless service, serving so silently and remaining in the background, but creating such pleasant experience for our patients. Indeed, Swami would be really happy with your service. One of the key components in the treatment required in the most critical moments of illness or injury, one on which patient's life depends, is something so simple and yet so extraordinary. It cannot be created, it cannot be bought or replaced. It is blood. Blood is an irreplaceable life force, and its importance in patient care cannot be overstated. Despite remarkable advances in medicine, there is still no alternative to human blood, no synthetic substitute, no laboratory-made version. This makes blood, every unit, every drop of blood, profoundly precious. So for patients undergoing surgeries, battling cancer, or living with chronic disorders, blood transfusions often become their lifeline. This is where voluntary blood donors make a huge difference. By offering their blood willingly and without expectation, they create a safe, steady, and life-saving supply for hospitals and patients in need. Their kindness is truly philanthropy. It is true Seva. Thank you, blood donors. Your gift of life is invaluable. You may never ever meet the people you save, but your gift remains with them forever and ever. Thank you for your compassion and kindness and your commitment to helping others. On this day, we wish to express our gratitude to a few who institutionalized this Seva by sending their colleagues, students to cater to the blood requirements of our hospital. We have amidst us representatives from Makino, FlowServe, SRIT, Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Manasa College, Vaidehi, and these are all on institutions, and their representatives are here today. And at an individual level, Sri G.K. Shetty, who is passionate about spreading the message of voluntary blood donation in general public. Over the past 25 years, as Director Sir mentioned, 40,000 blood donors have donated 61,400 units. We express a deep sense of heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for helping treat our patients. To give a sense, a perspective of the blood donation drive, the Liquid Love program by the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, we invite Sri Sathya Sai, State in Charge, Liquid Love program, Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, Karnataka South, the dais to share his thoughts.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. Salutations to all the seniors, elders of the dais. Loving Sai Ram to all the Sevadar brothers and sisters and all who are assembled here. I thank our Swami from the bottom of our heart for this wonderful Seva opportunity on Liquid Love. Flow of love through Sai in Liquid Love. A life-saving Seva by Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations, initiated by our organization. Swami has emphasized blood donation as a vital act of selfless service. Yes, so many organizations are doing that Seva relentlessly, and as Chandrasekhar sir just now mentioned, in our hospital there's a volunteer who does regularly, Shetty, who comes and goes around, moves around all the attendants and asks whether there is whenever there's a requirement of blood, he goes around and checks whether they can donate. Thank you. Well, as Swami goes, with respect to blood, you owe your existence in this world to the love of your parents. Hence, wherever there is a need for blood donation, you should come forward to donate your blood. Thereby, fulfill your obligation to your parents and society. This was the Divine Discourse, January 1st, 2004. I am blessed to be a part of this initiative and express my gratitude along with our team. We have a team of Sevadars who are working almost around 8 hours on a regular shift on a rooster basis. Almost more than 30-40 Sevadars regularly on a day-to-day, weekly basis. They do this Seva, that is Liquid Love Seva. I am a part of them. I am not away from them. I am as a team member. We thank our SP, Venkat Goswami sir, State Service Coordinator Rajshekhar Reddy sir, and also all the DPs and in charges for their full-hearted support for this program. This was started, in fact, last year. Our dedicated team offers Seva full of love and gear up to the emergency requirement. We have personalized experience during our Seva. In fact, I would like to share a few Swami instances showing Swami's omnipresence, omniscience and omnipotent in Liquid Love Seva. The omnipresence of Swami. Well, there was a blood request for a cancer patient which was supposed to be provided in just 4 hours time. The search for donors was on. The request for SDP platelets, we started actually the requirement for SDP platelets, not the whole blood. The college students were ready to donate. The distance to the hospital was more than, we identified one college which was on the rural side of Bangalore, and the distance from the hospital to the college was almost 20 kilometers, and the transport system was not there. We were worrying how to go about what to do. Then a car which was supposed to start from the college, it basically was an MBA college with a faculty, was waiting there for some unknown reason. The students were transported on time for the donation, and the donation was done. This is our Lord's omnipresence. Then let's look at Swami's omniscience. There was a request of this happened in our own hospital. There was a request which was raised for 3 units of B negative, a rare blood group, by our hospital requirement. Within 3 to 4 hours, this blood was supposed to be arranged. Usually, we make around 50 to 100 calls a day for an O positive, normal O positive, to search for, which is a universal group, to search for a donor. On that day, on that incident, the first call which was made, the donor said, "I'll come to the hospital within half an hour." The second call which was made, he said within 1 hour. And the third call which we made, he said, he confirmed that within 45 minutes I'm there. All the 3 came, donated the blood, and the operation was successful. Again, it was yes from Swami in 3 straight calls, and who else but the omniscient Swami can make this happen. The last omnipotent of Swami, an auto driver from a remote village in Rayalaseema, Andhra Pradesh, admitted his daughter for a tumor surgery in Kedwai Hospital. Through our sources, through some of his sources, he came to know that there is some program called as Liquid Love, where there are donors, there are volunteers who help and support to ensure that there is blood requirement met. Then he raised the request, that he went through the process, raised the request, and all our Sevakas, whoever talked to him, even though it was a rooster, see, every day there's a change of Sevadal, and on rooster, there's an opportunity for every Sevadal to talk to the volunteer, to the donor, and the attendant. And the amount of love that he received from the Sevadal ensured that after the surgery, after the treatment was over, you know what he said? He has written and said that I'm going to go to my village and start being a permanent member. I'm going to be a member of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization, and I'm going to do Seva there. This is nothing but the omnipotence of Swami, which has made him go into Swami's school. Well, when Liquid Love Seva was bestowed upon us as Liquid Love team, it was informed to us very clearly that this happened in Sai Shuti. The elders, the seniors of the organization told us only one thing. Request, we know the program, request raised, but ensure at least 80% of the requests are made. I humbly put across and thanking Swami, because as all of us, we know that Swami is the doer, we are just the instruments. Till date, month on month, and especially our hospital, we are on 100% of the raised requests. We are able to fulfill that. Thank you, Swami, for making this happen. And even today, there was a request which was raised for O positive, but for some reasons, the request was completed because the donors came and donated. But one donor went on, and the hospital authorities, I thank the blood bank team that they accepted and they took the donation. Praying Swami to continue our flow of love to the life of love. Thank you. Very much.
Thank you, Sri Sathya Sai, for those inspiring stories where Bhagwan's hand, invisible hand, ensures that the patient's needs are met using blood donors as his instruments. Our final speaker today, Sri Satish Ishwaran, brings the corporate world into the heart of Seva. He currently serves as the Director of Network Operations in one of the Fortune 500 companies, AT&T Corp. He has mobilized teams of professionals to contribute time, talent, and skill in service to our patients for several years. With warm appreciation, we invite Sri Satish Ishwaran to address us.
Pranams to Lotus feet of Sri Mohan. Thanks, Director Sundaresh, for inviting me here. First and foremost, my big shout out and congratulations to this great institution for celebrating your 25th year Silver Jubilee celebration. Very grateful that you are right in front of our corporation. Our AT&T office is right in ITPL. We see this every day when we cut across, and so nice to see that you are celebrating the 25th year. Thanks to all of the Sevakas and volunteers for making this happen. Truly humbled and honored to be a part of this function. So I work for AT&T, which is I know it is late and I'm the last speaker. I don't want to stand in front of you and the bhajans and the bhojan, so I'll make it short. work for AT&T, which is a company which was created 150 years ago. Alexander Graham Bell started as a part of Bell Laboratories. We invented telephone and so many things. We have been transforming, innovating over a period of 150 years, carrying to our customer needs and all that. We provide network services on the wireless side and in the wireline side across the globe. We have a passion. AT&T as a company has a philanthropic vision as well. Our chairman and CEO has committed $5 billion over the years to close the digital divide gap. And if you know what digital divide gap is, it is basically getting the content to people in remote areas. In the Western world, it is mostly based on the connectivity not available in remote areas. But on the Indian context, that is where we come into the picture. So we have formed a chapter called Pulse. It means people united to lead, serve, and engage. That's the chapter that we have formed. It's an employee group. So we have come together to find out what we can do in closing this digital divide gap, and environmental sustainability is all the other things that we do. In digital divide gap, if you see from the Indian context, it's not only the connectivity which is needed. If you go to government schools, they do not have even computers to work with. So what is the use of giving connectivity without having computers? So we try to work end-to-end with them. We try to give them, donate them some recyclable computers, refurbished computers, which is in good working condition, load them with content and the connectivity and make it happen end-to-end. We take care of those things. Smart class. So in remote villages, it is unfortunate that there are not many teachers available to go to the government schools and educate. So we have enabled some smart classes where through the television, through the smart TV, people can teach from remote places with all the content available to them. So the teachers need not go to the school, they can do it remote. We can use all the cutting edge technologies to make that happen. We have worked with Agastya Foundation to create mobile science labs to schools. So it is mobile science lab on wheels. Carries about 100 experiments in the wheel, in the van. It goes to really different schools in the rural areas and then pick out students so that they can experimentally learn stuff, which otherwise they are not able to learn because the school cannot provide the lab facilities. Lab on tap. Donate the tablets, which is loaded with content, to underprivileged children so that they can read and educate themselves. Numerous projects that we have done over the years. And on the environmental sustainability, we have also done work on Miyawaki forest creation, like creating forest in urban areas with the native species trees which are planted close to each other, and seed ball activities and so on and so forth. Why I'm telling you all this is all possible because of three factors which need to come together. One is the passionate people. We can't take that away. We need people to drive things. And I was talking to Dr. Sundaresh when we were in Sathya Sai a couple of years ago. We cannot mandate this. It has to come from people's heart to serve, as I can see here. And so we do not have anything as a mandate saying that you have to do 20 hours of volunteering work as some corporates do. We don't do that. So it comes from people's heart, and that is why it is very successful. And I want to proudly call out that our chapter has won the Community Service Impact Award 2025 in Dallas. And that's possible not only because I said three things need to come together. So one is the people. The second one is the partnership. We totally depend on our partner NGOs and institutions like Sathya Sai of medical sciences so that it can create a platform for us to volunteer better. And the third one is the projects. The projects need to be sustainable. It need to be fulfilling for people and satisfying so that whatever they do need to reach the root needs, and we should see that happening. I applaud the government for mandating the 2% CSR from corporates to reach the grassroots organization. And corporates, in my view, should take it in such a way that volunteerism should also be involved wherever they are contributing. Writing check is one thing, but I would say with the people and the partners together can really gel well and make it much more sustainable. I would end with this one note first time when we came to Sathya Sai Institute, we must be wondering, we are talking about all other NGOs, but except for Sathya Sai, I am coming to that last. So first time I did reach out to Mr. Satish Chandra, who's here, to introduce me to director. And he said there is a project available, we want to bring your volunteering activity to happen here. So I said, yeah, what's the volunteering activity? He said there are a lot of lights like this, tube lights, which are outdated and which are lying in their attics everywhere in Sathya Sai Hospital. Can we do a e-waste kind of a segregation? So as engineers, we may not be good at putting things together, but we are really good at ripping apart. So we said, yeah, we'll take that. So we brought about 50-60 volunteers from AT&T, and we went for like 6-7 hours, and there were like 700-800 such lights which were sitting there. If we had not done that, probably it would have gone for waste, and it would have occupied the land, fill, and all those things. So we took apart everything and then made sure every part is recycled. So environmental sustainability got accomplished through that. We also did a few projects, like we're not great at cooking and all that, but helping out in the medical area, as well as and some of the leaders who came along with us for volunteering activity, they were completely perplexed with the setup in Sathya Sai Hospital here. They said, there is no billing counter here. How do they bill people? I said, they don't bill people, it is for free. Everything is for free. So I'd like to just say one thing before I end. In India or even anywhere you go, cost and quality is directly proportional, right? If you pay nothing or if you pay very small amount, the quality is what you get is also very low. You're not going to get super high quality if you don't pay anything. On the other side of the spectrum, if you are willing to spend a lot of money, you can get 5-star treatment. You have quality, you can go to any amount of medical facilities if you are willing to pay that much. The only institution which has completely reversed this, there is an inverse proportion happening here. With zero cost, you get the best of the best doctors available who have spoken and who are all sitting here. And the hygiene and the way the cleanliness it is maintained here, with zero cost, you get all that here. I don't think any other institution can accomplish this. So I'm really proud of this institution, and it is staying very close to our office. And sir, please give us some more opportunities to work together. We have the people, partners, towards the projects, we can get these accomplished. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ishwaran, for sharing such wonderful thoughts and kind words. Bhagwan has always said that wherever good work is done, that is God's work. And so your initiatives, even if they're in the corporate world serving the community, corporate volunteering also can meaningfully align with Bhagwan's mission of compassionate healthcare. You can be wherever you are and you can still serve the Lord. Thank you, Mr. Ishwaran, for taking time and addressing us. We will now pray to Bhagwan for his divine message on this auspicious occasion.
All of you should take a role to develop this organization day after day. Andaru cheranడి. Take all people within the board. Volunteer బిడ్డలుగా మీరు విశ్వసించండి. Consider everyone as a change. ఎవరు చేసినా మా సోదరులకు చేస్తున్నామని భావించండి. Whomsoever you serve, you think that you are serving our others of your life. Then only God manifests in you. భగవత్ దర్శనాన్ని మీరు పొందుతారు. You will definitely get a vision of God in you. There is no doubt whatsoever. అది శీఘ్రకాలంలోనే ఈ దివ్యమైన అనుభూతి కూడా మీరు అనుభవిస్తారు. You will experience this great experience in a short time. నిజంగా ఈ సంస్థ నుంచి వేరైనటువంటి వారు దురదృష్టవంతులే. People who have gone away from these organizations are unfortunate. మీరందరూ కూడా దురదృష్టవంతులు కాకుండా అదృష్టవంతులుగా మారాలి. You should not become unfortunate. ఎలాంటి పాపమైన సంస్థను ఏమాత్రం వీడకుండా చూసుకోవాలి. Do not give up this organization. సంస్థని ప్రాణంగా విశ్వసించాలి. Consider the organization as your life breath. ఇది నిజమైనటువంటి గుణము. This is real. ఇది నిజమైనటువంటి యొక్క తపస్సు. This is real penance. ఇలాంటి దీక్షను కూడి taking a vow on these lines that you can become ఆశించేటువంటి ఆశ. This is what I desire. స్వామి ప్రేమ నిరుపమని వెంటనే కంటనే ఈతనే కంటనే ఉంటున్నారు.
Thank you, Mohan. To all our volunteers, whether you serve once a year or every day, through your hands, your knowledge, your skill, your time or your blood, you are all integral parts of Bhagwan's divine healthcare mission. From the bottom of our hearts, we offer our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for taking time out and being with us here today. May Bhagwan bless you and your families and provide more and more opportunities to serve him. Jai Sai Ram. We will end the session with Aarti to Bhagwan.
भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशि बदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपति स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपति आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवं मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूपा ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंधुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण 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 सत्य नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण 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 सत्य नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण 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 सत्य नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण नारायण जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा